Okay, this final one is very exciting to me. It is Make It a Skit script. I say skit because I feel like when we say show, we can get scared, and I don't want you to be scared off. Okay? I am sometimes scared when people talk about theater. I will go to a high school theater production at some school and I will see the lights and the sound booth and the costumes and the makeup and the set and be intimidated. Because to me that is theater and I don't do that. I do simple. I do simple shows many times with no costumes, never with makeup because it's a pain. I don't like designing sets or doing anything with sets. Now, sometimes the kids will make these things happen, and that's fine, but it's not on you. In fact, it's not even on you to direct it, okay? So don't think of it as theater. Think of it as a skit. And it's really just a storybook script. Okay, so what you do is you take one of these great books or even a not so great book. Okay, this isn't such a great book, but this has some great characters in it. It's called Small Brown Dog's Bad Remembering Day. And at least once a week, I take quite a few children through a script that I wrote from this book. And all I did was just wrote out the words on a document and printed it out. There is a secret though, and it's a hard-earned secret that took me years to figure out, and please appreciate it that I'm telling you this. You have to have a narrator. It does not work without a narrator. Okay? So you write your script, and anything that is not a character speaking would be the narrator speaking. Okay? Then you print the script, a number of copies for these children. If they're reading, if they're not, they'll memorize the book. Trust me, and they will not be held back. They want to perform. Then you choose a strong narrator, somebody who can read well, somebody who can, if a kid doesn't know their line, which memorizing is not necessary for this, the narrator can feed the lines. That's all right. Or the child can improv the lines. If they know how the story goes, they'll just say something that kind of makes sense and you'll go with it. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be theirs. Give them ownership of this. And then give them space to shine. So what I would do is I would take a good book or a not so good book that has good characters. I would type up a script. And then I would give it to a group of 7 or 8 kids. And I would say, you are the narrator, picking my best kid that I know can read well and who can lead. And then I would say, you're Ducky Lucky and you're Foxy Loxy, or you're the cat and you're Snort, and you give out the parts, or you let them do that. Depends. It's up to you. And then I leave them alone. Students left alone can be so creative and so fascinating. And yes, they're going to be trying to make a sweatshirt into a wig. Let them. They're going to ask, can I borrow some tape? Just let them. Give them some time in a corner to make a show. And then present a show. And you're going to be dumbfounded by what they can come up with. Every single time I'm amazed at what students can come up with if I just give them the script and some time. There may be some arguments, and you might have to step in a few times or just go over and listen, but mostly just let them do it. All right, so I'm going to tell you my biggest vision, and this isn't something I've gotten to try yet, but I'm hoping I will give it to public school teachers and they will do it. I see 5th and 6th and 7th and 8th grade teachers writing scripts from popular books. This one is great. This makes a script, no problem. You have 4 different cats You have one with white shoes, blue shoes, red shoes, brown shoes, and you have a narrator or two narrators. Easy peasy. This one, great script. This one, easy script. So you give these kids the Foxy Loxy, the Sky is Falling. That one works too. There's lots of them. You can also take these Disney ones, like I showed you some of these Disney books like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs or Peter Pan. You can rewrite them as scripts too. Easy. So you give these kids the scripts, these 5th graders, 6th graders, 7th graders, 8th graders, and you give them their time and you let them practice. And then your 7th grade class or your 6th grade class watch them, give them validation. And then you send that group of children down the hall to the 3rd grade class. I mean, obviously, you've set it up with the 3rd grade teacher, and then they perform for the 3rd graders. The books that they're already learning or they have learned or they've read or whatever, or the 2nd grade or the kindergartners. And then these small kids, first of all, they're like, oh, wow, big kids. But also, if you're in a small rural school where the kids just kind of stay there all the way up, those kids are going to remember, when I get to be in the 5th grade, I get to do a show. And then they go back and they get to do a show. It's a great concept, a great idea. I'm so super excited about it, and I really hope that it takes off in schools across the country. And it started with Miss Jackson. All right, we are going to have a little conclusion and finish up. Sure has been fun.